The voice inside you controls you. You can never be free unless you learn to silence it. The voice in your head isn't you, but you think it is, so you live your whole life in an illusion. To be free, you first need to become aware of its existence. This voice constantly speaks, comments, criticizes, worries, and you listen to it, argue with it, sometimes agree, sometimes disagree. But because you don't know what it is, you can never stop it. This text won't teach you how to silence the voice inside you, because trying to silence it only strengthens it. Instead, it will teach you to be an observer and to know this. The moment you become aware of the voice, you are no longer its slave. But first, have you ever thought, why can't I stop thinking in bed at night? That thought is also part of the voice. Chapter 1. Discovering your inner voice. Stay where you are right now and do this. Listen to your inner voice. Listen to what's going on inside your head. What thoughts are passing through your mind? And you'll discover something very interesting. There's a constant voice, a constant conversation. Sometimes the first person speaks as I, saying, I should do this. I'm thinking this. It was bad for me. Sometimes the second person speaks as you, saying, you're stupid. You shouldn't have done this. You won't achieve anything. And sometimes even a third voice pops up asking, why can't I stop talking to myself? And this is also part of the voice, a kind of meta voice, a voice talking about the voice. Normal madness. Now consider this. If someone is talking loudly to themselves on the street, constantly muttering, I shouldn't have done this. Why didn't I say this? Next time I'll tell them this. You call them crazy. But you do the same thing, just silently, in your head, and that's considered normal. But is there really such a big difference between the two? One speaks loudly, the other is silent, but both are doing the same thing. Constant talking, constant commenting, constant mental activity, and much of this activity is unnecessary, dysfunctional, even destructive. The nature of inner speech. And this inner speech has a very interesting characteristic. It is prone to negativity. So when something good happens, you saw the sunset yesterday, you had a nice conversation, you had a pleasant moment, the mind doesn't process it much. Maybe it says, that was nice, once or twice, and moves on. But when something bad happens, someone hurts you, someone doesn't give you the attention you need, someone disappoints you, the mind kicks in and processes the same event over and over again for hours, days, sometimes years. What did they do to me? How could they do that? Next time I'll tell them this. I wish I had said that at the time, and so on. Therefore, the time spent dwelling on negative events is much longer than the time spent dwelling on positive events. The body's response. And here's the most dangerous part. Your body can't distinguish between a real event and a thought in your mind. So, when you're worrying in bed at night, thinking, what if this doesn't work? What if it goes wrong? What if that person does this? Your body perceives this as a real danger and releases stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol. Your heart rate increases, your muscles tense, reacting as if there were a real danger. But there is no real danger, only a thought, a scenario you've created in your head. But your body doesn't know this difference. And if this continues for years, your body's functions deteriorate, your immune system weakens, and your resistance to disease decreases. the mind-body connection. Even mainstream medicine now accepts this. There is a direct link between your mental state and your physical health. In the past, doctors only looked at the body, focusing only on symptoms and asking, "What's wrong with this organ? What's the cause of this symptom?" But now they understand that a person's mental and emotional state directly affects their physical health. Chronic stress, chronic anxiety, and chronic negative thinking make the body sick, slowly eroding and decaying it. Chapter 2: The Power of Sound. But the real question is, why is this sound so powerful? Why can't we stop it? Why can't we silence it? The answer is, because we mistake it for me. When the sound speaks, we say, "This is my thought. This is what I'm thinking." But in reality, you are not the one thinking. Thoughts are forming, and you are observing them, or you should observe them. But you don't, because you have identified with them, entered into them, become them. The illusion of identification. Now try this. When a thought comes to your mind right now, just watch it. Say, "Ah, a thought is passing by," and visualize this thought as a cloud passing in the sky, and you are watching it. You are not identifying with the cloud. You are not saying, "I am that cloud." You are just saying, "I am watching the cloud pass." Do the same thing with thoughts. The thought passes, and you watch it, but you cannot watch it, because the moment the thought arrives, you jump into it. You become one with it, and you are no longer an observer. You become the thought itself. Recurring thought patterns. And the worst part, the same thoughts keep coming back. Certain patterns, certain scenarios, and you've been repeating them for years. For example, the thought, "I'm not good enough." This thought has been in your mind for years. It pops up with every failure, and you say, "Look, I failed again because I'm not good enough. It's always been like this. It always will be." And you believe this thought is true. But it's just a recurring thought pattern, a mental habit you acquired in childhood and reinforced over the years. Seeing it in others. It's very easy to see this in others. You go to Thanksgiving dinner, family gets together, and you know beforehand what some relatives are going to say because they said the same things last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They told the same complaints, the same judgments, the same stories over and over again, and you think to yourself, not the same things again? But you can't see it in yourself. You also have recurring patterns, things you always say about yourself, about life, about others, and these haven't changed for years. Complex mind. Eckhart Tolle calls this the complex mind. Not being fully aware of the constant flow of mental interpretation, judging everything instantly, taking a stance immediately in every situation, constantly taking positions, constantly defining mental positions and identifying with those positions, saying, "This is good, this is bad, I like this, I don't like this, I'm against this, I support this." And that's where you lose your freedom, because you are no longer an observer. You become the thought itself. State of lack. And the deepest message of the voice is this: you are not enough. You are lacking. Something is wrong. And you believe this, and you try to do things in the world to fill this void. You try to achieve. You try to possess. You try to get approval, but it never fills. Because the void is not real. It is an illusion created by the voice. And no matter how successful you become in the world, the feeling of emptiness comes back because the voice is still there, still speaking, You are not enough. You need more. You must be better. Chapter 3. Becoming an observer. So what is the solution? Trying to silence the voice? No, because trying to silence it is also an action of the voice. The one saying, "Be quiet," is also a voice, a part of your inner speech. The real solution is this: to become an observer, to develop awareness, to notice that the voice is there and just watch, without interfering, without judging, without trying to change, just watching by saying, "Ah, there's a thought. Ah, a voice is speaking." The awareness void. And here's where the magic happens. The moment you observe the thought, the power of the thought diminishes because you are no longer in it. You are a step away from it. A void opens up. A distance forms between you and the thought, and this distance is freedom. This void is consciousness. The observing entity is not the thought, because it is observing the thought. That is, something different from the thought, something deeper, something quieter. Thought and awareness. The critical question Eckhart asks is there an awareness behind the thought? Because if there is thought but no awareness, you are inside the thought, a prisoner, a slave. But if there is thought and also awareness, that is, if you can say a thought is passing through, then you are free because the thought no longer controls you. You are observing the thought. Night practice. A simple practice. When you lie down in bed at night, observe your thoughts. Just observe. Say, "Now I'm worried about tomorrow." Say, "Now I regret the past." Say, "Now I'm angry at someone." But say all of these as an observer. Don't delve deeply, just note, record, notice. And over time, something will happen. Thoughts will slow down. There will be gaps, moments of silence. And in these moments of silence, the real you will be present. Not the voice, but the silence. The voice inside you controls you, but you cannot control it because trying to control it is nothing more than a game played by the voice. The only thing you can do is observe, notice, say, "Ah, the voice is speaking." And this awareness is enough because awareness is light, and light automatically dispels darkness. You don't need to strive to silence the voice. Simply being aware of its presence is enough. And in time, the voice will lose its power, speak less, become less important, and you will remain the real you, the silent observer, the consciousness beyond thoughts, where the voice is absent. And freedom exists, because freedom is not the silencing of the voice, but the fact that the voice no longer affects you, that you no longer identify with it, that you can observe it. And in that moment of observation, you are free because you are no longer a slave to your mind. You are the observer of your mind. I know this information benefits many people, and you know that people need this kind of information now more than ever. There are so many people today who are victims of social media, struggling in their daily lives and work, constantly feeling inadequate and unsuccessful. To reach more people, please share this video with others and add your own comment. I hear the voice. Like the video and write this. How many people can say this simple sentence?